Did you know that menstruating women should not enter cemeteries? Let me explain why. If you're a woman and you're not aware of this information, it's important that you pay attention. Few people know, but menstruation is important, not only in the physical world but also in the spiritual one. Menstruation is completely natural in a woman's body, but if you're in that period, never enter a cemetery, pass through the gate of one, or even walk down a street that has a cemetery. Why does this happen? During the menstrual period, a woman releases more ectoplasm than usual. And this is a feast for evil entities and spirits wandering the world, inside the cemetery and its surroundings. By entering the cemetery, you may end up attracting one of these spirits or even several of them to your home, where they will feed on your energy, harming you and those who live with you. Therefore, if you're menstruating, avoid these places. Otherwise, you risk being pursued by an obsessor who will feed off your energy like a vampire. And without you realizing it, your obsessor will harm your life and home. Like and never read the names on tombstones when you're in the cemetery. I was young, around 20 years old, and I always went to the cemetery to bring flowers to my dear grandmother. But every time I went, I walked between the tombstones, reading the names on the graves and looking at the dates when people had passed away. Until one day, I saw the tombstone of a handsome young man who had passed away recently, and I made a comment in front of his grave. Wow, what a handsome guy. If he were alive, I would marry him. Then I went home. That same night, without understanding why, I had an erotic dream about that young man. Up until that point, everything was fine because he was handsome, and the dreams were incredible, but over time, it started to feel strange. I dreamed about him every night. Every time I tried to start a relationship, it seemed like something strange was preventing it or standing between me and the other person. So one day, I decided to go to a spiritual center. There, the people told me that a spirit was following me. At that moment, I thought it must be the spirit of the young man from the cemetery. They recommended doing some rituals to get rid of him. After a month, he disappeared from my dreams, and I never read a tombstone again when I visited my dear grandmother.